Hello and welcome to The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci, and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you, and why are we doing this?
Stacy and I both got new phones. We had to upgrade because they're extremely out of date. And then at the same time, I had to replace all 4 of my tires on my Honda. So
Good
I'm
Lord.
thinking I'm going to go on a quest to find 3 skulls and transform myself into a cartoonishly stupid supervillain a la the Phantom. Bob?
My fate was not much better. We had to get a new battery for our car. And at the same time, we got sued by our prior landlord.
What?
And we got an insurance settlement for a recent pipe burst. So we might just have a complete wash of this. But anyway,
Pipe logic.
big heroes, big disappointment.
Yeah.
For this
It's all
week,
about balance.
it's all about Phantom. The Phantom.
Yeah,
The Phantom.
The Phantom. Let's throw it to YouTube.
Sure. You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great. More mental illness. Here we go. The cinematography, production design, and score to this movie were all fantastic. The film looks great. I also had a wonderful sense of humor about itself. Okay. I thoroughly enjoyed it and have watched it many times. Very underrated indeed. Next comment. Probably one of the most underrated superhero movies of its time. Next comment. Such a pity they didn't do a sequel. Billy Zane played the role well. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Next comment. The Phantom was really underrated movie. Yes, I expected much more action and fight scenes, but still, it was a great movie. Billy Zane was so cute as Phantom. Christy Swanson and Catherine Zeta-Jones were charming as always. And the last one. Little known fact, Billy Zane is actually the Phantom. When the media started to get onto him about his secret identity, he starred in the film to draw attention away from himself. That was actually pretty funny.
Yes, that's real.
Wow.
I don't think they gave much for Billy Zane to work with. That person was like,
Yeah.
Billy Zane did a great job. I wouldn't know. I feel like he
Yeah.
had 3 lines.
I don't feel like it was a terrible movie. It was just unremarkable and not memorable or good.
I felt like it was terrible.
Okay.
I think we can go there.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, already, right away.
Test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Cool.
Starting off light, doing the Phantom a favor with Titanic, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of that one.
Yeah. Lesser known film, but we being movie buffs, I think the 3 of us are aware of it. 88%.
Have you seen the guy on TikTok who has like 197 copies of Titanic on VHS and he has a
Yes,
shrine in his
I
living
have.
room?
Yeah, I've seen that actually.
I think I sent it to you actually.
Yeah, that's probably true. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, 60, not as good. Highlander, Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert.
Oh God,
Lambert and the guy, I should have written his name down because I always think it's Christopher Lambert when I see Ajax from Warriors, or it's because they both played Raiden.
Yeah,
it was this guy in Annihilation, the second one, and it was Christopher Lambert in the first, the 95 one we did.
Yep.
Demolition Man snipes. Oh, that was a 70, by the way. Highlander. Demolition Man,
movie.
Snipes, and Stallone. We know something about that. 62. I think it's come up in this test before.
Yeah.
And The Mask of Zorro, which I feel like is definitely in the wheelhouse here.
Mm-hmm.
That was Banderas and Hopkins. 83.
wow!
I had no idea. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think the Phantom was able to do?
Based on YouTube comments alone, 65.
Okay.
I'm about to split that in half. I'm gonna say 32.
It's a 43. So I guess it goes Bob's way here.
Yeah.
Barely.
With an average of 72.6, so it's a negative 29.6 and the worst.
Okay.
It's kind.
That's a fair assessment, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, the scores are starting to climb this season. I've already written that down, so we'll jump right into test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
Now ain't that a pitch?
I guess I'll go first, right? Oh, you want to go? You go.
It doesn't matter to me. Okay. There once was a man named Billy Zane who decided to nosedive his plane. Might have had a career and wiped the script to his rear, but he chose movies like Phantom and Blood Rain.
Fair.
Good.
This was before Titanic, too.
All right.
Was it?
Yeah, this was 96 and Titanic was 97, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I feel like he was on an upward trajectory, but then Blood Rain came out, and I think that ruined.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, that's a movie we're gonna have to do.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. There once was a spandex-wearing jungle man who was searching for skulls, so he devised a plan. Had no cash to travel local, so he bribed them with opals. I'm only here for Catherine Zeta-Jones, fam.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones and what's her name? The other lead female.
Christy Swanson.
We're both exactly 27 years old when this came out. So, growl.
Yeah, so too old for DiCaprio. Speaking of Titanic.
Hysterical.
Going topical.
There once was a man named Kit. So many villains he tries to outwit. He has no real superpower other than mediocre firepower. So they made a movie that's mostly shit.
That's true. He really doesn't, does he?
Right.
I'm going to go Bob because that's a crucial point that neither Chris and I brought up.
Well, Rob, you made me laugh really hard, so I'm going with you.
Okay.
Bob, you have the deciding vote.
I can't not vote for myself, but I guess I'll vote for Rob.
I've got a dynasty going, don't I?
I'm just surprised. That sounds like you want to vote for yourself. I would.
You can. There's no rules. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. I can't do that. I'll go 4 stars for Rob.
I like 4. I was going to go 4 as well.
Cool.
So nicely done. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm going to go 5.
All right.
5 stars, Rob. Very nice. So that brings the average up to a 4.5, which is not important at all. Okay, so we're going to move on to test number 3, and that is the most offensive. I like dongs.
And I'll meet you. What was that again? And I'll meet you. That's what I thought you said. I'm offended.
I just gave you a 5.
Yeah, but it seemed a little backhanded, so I was hovering over the trigger, and I was committed before you gave me the 5. So,
man, I want to say something, but for fear of what's going to happen in the future, I guess I have to now that I tease the audience.
All right.
I feel like you've stitched that sound clip onto the front of the bumper for test number 3.
No, it's under the Chris countdown with such hits like
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I have a main show bumper. I have the
Yeah.
featured movie bumpers. Then I have the Chris countdown bumpers, all in separate categories.
Okay. Nice. So me and the wieners. That's in the countdown. Got it. Okay. So the most offensive number 1, attempted abuse of a boy. Bob featured this in our trailer that'll be coming out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It is. God, I need to just look him up. Bob, you don't know the guy's name. He's like Dexter's dad, and Dexter. He's Ajax from the Warriors. He's the second.
The guy that throws the elbow.
Yes.
I can't think of his name. I had it recently, but I keep thinking of the other villain.
It's James Remar.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, James Remar. I'm gonna write that down so that because I want to talk about him a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know how good he is in this movie, but anyway, his character right in the beginning goes to elbow the kid in the head, but he misses and because the kid ducks and hits his friend. But just attempting to hit a child is messed up.
Do you think they did like 100 takes where he did elbow the kid, and they're like, dude, he doesn't have any more hits left. He can only take so much pain.
I have heard that the guy is kind of a jerk, so maybe. Number 2. That boy bringing the big rig across the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to die, so they have a kid do it.
Child endangerment. Never a good look.
OSHA violation for sure.
I wonder if it really was a rickety bridge and the kid did his own stunt.
Yeah.
All right, 3. Speaking of James Remar, Creepin' Quill communicating coerced coitus. So Quill is James Remar's character, yeah, and he says to Christy Swanson's character that when he gets back, they're gonna have a little fun. And she's like tied to a chair or something. So
yes.
yeah. Communicating coerced coitus. Sure.
All right.
Number 4, and this is one that I recently forgot to include, but I will never again, I promise, because it's kind of a bingo card moment. But wanton wasting of windows in the Winchester showroom.
Yeah.
This local museum had nothing to do with any of this. They're storing the skull, but I'm sure they think it's just a period piece and not something with magical powers. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on public display, I don't think.
It's like the mask. They're like fake Peruvian knockoffs, but they're authentic Peruvian knockoffs. What was the the whole thing?
It was like Nepalese Norse mythology, Pakistani, I think.
Yeah.
Norse mythology masks.
I was expecting that, honestly. I thought they'd be totally fake, but they went the other way.
Yeah, no, it was real. It really was just on display like a couple blocks away.
Yeah,
I love that in movies where they have to find the 3 things in the world. It's kind of like Infinity War when Thanos needs to find all the stones, and they are in very, very convenient locations that work with the story. Like
that's
there's
a
2 on
theme
Earth
too,
already or whatever.
In Roadhouse, like the world's just so small. Like, oh, all the crooked dealers and like they're all like located right next to the Double Deuce.
Double Deuce.
Yeah. Still can't believe it's called that. Because they don't give 2 shits.
They don't.
That's right. Deucey Deuce.
Number 5, Phantom ghosting Christy Swanson. So he studied abroad and studied abroad. And then he went back to the jungle.
That's our lowest point.
Yeah, it was.
Normies. That was the lowest point.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's good.
Yeah,
call.
fair, Bob. Yeah. Number 6, Salma. I know Catherine Zeta-Jones' character's name, but not Christy. What's her face?
Swanson.
Yeah. Personal pleasure pilot. Jesus Christ. Got to get this one out. Personal pleasure pirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were also thinking about taking Christy Swanson as I don't know, sexual collateral.
Yeah.
Which is
a good way of putting it.
She was just but to get back to where I was before, I had a brain glitch. Salma says, "I claim the body when you're done," and this is when they're talking about killing the Phantom. The gangsters are going to bring him upstairs and literally kill him. And she wants the body for what? What do you think?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, Wagging the Wiggler of Walking Dead Kit Walker.
Walking Dead.
Go.
Yeah, it wouldn't do much walking probably. But number 8, pushing your patootie and your side piece into a projectile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And then I have one more before I ask you for mentions, but inheriting idiotic and injurious ideology. Injurious.
Yeah.
So the Phantom is like what, the 9th Phantom?
They said something to that effect.
I think I read it was the 22nd.
Good Lord. I mean, it has been 400 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it would be much more than 9. But you don't have a choice. You don't get to live your life. I guess you get to go to New York for your Twinkie in the city.
For your slam pig.
Yeah.
Rumspringa.
Yes, what have you? But you don't have a choice. You have to defend the jungle from constant exploits from evil people trying to get magic skulls and shit, and put yourself at risk to avenge the original I guess if my 22nd great grandfather was killed by a pirate, I don't know that I would be trying to get revenge on the pirate brotherhood that did it at this point in my life.
No, I'd probably just get takeout and see what's on the boob tube.
Yeah, the boob tube. You guys want to mention anything before we move on?
Up.
That's everything.
Nothing offensive, no.
No, but if you have 10 seconds to spare, which I hope you do, you mentioned a name. Course. You mentioned a name, and it reminded me of something that happened last week. So I'm just gonna hit the clip.
Oh, God.
I am Ajax, breaker of stones. Look upon me and despair.
Different Ajax, but
yeah. I'm glad you still had that clip though. That's insane. I still can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we have
souls.
He while swinging his axe, or whatever, he's screaming this.
Yeah.
If we have nothing else, we'll move on to test number 4, the worst dialogue.
It's the worst dialogue.
Okay, 2 clips. I'll do 1, 2 clips, and we're done with worst dialogue. Starting with the first, number 5. That's nonsense.
I'm only interested in the truth. And I've learned from a highly placed source at the city library that Drax has been extensively researching esoteric volumes that are normally kept under constant lock and key. He's interested in something connected with this symbol.
So, what's it mean?
He's on a quest for a supernatural power. These are dangerous and turbulent times, gentlemen. Dictators and tyrants are popping up all over the world. Drax already has the desire to become one himself. And this will provide him with the means.
That's nonsense, dude.
I know it's hard to fathom. But Drax believes in it. And this man must be taken seriously.
That's nonsense. He says it's not good when you have to use a character to speak for the audience in that way.
Yeah.
Like blah blah blah, typical superhero writing, super low effort writing, and then the guy has to answer like, this sounds like bullshit because we're all thinking it.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the guy who's explaining the plot to rein you in and make you believe it. And I don't feel like he achieved that. So
no, not at all.
All right, number 4. This clip again. Number 4. Jungle saying.
Ooh.
All right, gentlemen, nobody. Ladies, kindly pardon my error.
Ooh, I love it.
What is this, a ship full of women?
All my pilots are women.
Interesting. Excuse me.
Who are you?
Good Samaritan.
I bet you're better than good. Guess I'm gonna get the chance to find out.
There's an old jungle saying, never point a gun at someone because it just might go off.
Ooh. Fast hands. I like that in a man.
Tie her up. Or don't.
Personal.
I don't want to mess with your worst production, Bob, but I really hope it's not tries too hard to be Michael Keaton.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not at all.
All right, cool.
No, but I feel that's accurate. But what a saying. The jungle saying is never point a gun at someone, it might go off or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a real jungle proverb.
Because all those ancient jungle dwellers were packing heat.
It did never point a dart blower at somebody because you might put them to sleep or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of the time when you're pointing a gun at someone, aren't you intending on making it go off? I mean, I know some of the time you're using it as a way of getting what you want without having kill somebody or whatever. But
if you talk to any staunchly like pro Second Amendment guy, they're always like, I only ever pull out my piece with the intent to kill.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you know those guys, like
yeah, it's not supposed to be a form of intimidation. It's supposed to defend you only.
Yes.
In a spot where or others.
After you back your F-150 up into the parking spot, take 10 minutes doing it.
Number 3. So I think it was the British captain of the camp speaking to his second in command. The second in command says something to the effect of the men saw the Phantom again in the jungle.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, this guy saw him, and the captain goes, that guy's been chewing on the wrong type of jungle growth.
Yeah, I hate when they try to be clever with like the words. He chewed on a cocoa leaf, or just say what you wanted to say,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's many jungle drugs you can just go out there and do by chewing on the leaves, but I don't feel like it really works that way. Like when you're out in the brush, you can just identify the cocaine leaf and just chew it on mission and have a good time.
Yeah,
that's right. That assumes there's a right kind of jungle leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be a right kind of jungle
leaf. Very good point.
That makes you, I don't know. I feel like the bad jungle leaf is making you hallucinate, which wouldn't be cocaine either. So it's still not entirely accurate.
Maybe a mushroom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, which isn't a leaf.
That's true.
Right.
All right.
Mushrooms are not leaves.
No. Let's leave this one alone and move on to our next clip number.
Well, we forgot. That was
3.
Now we're moving on to number.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to number
2. This is why we did this countdown thing, because I knew it was going to be a shit show, and it's just funny. All right. Number 2, Sense.
Okay.
Oh, it is beautiful.
I used a little toothpaste on it. It polished up so good.
Toothpaste? Really? That's nice. You know, I am in such a good mood right now. I almost hate to mention this. The happy homecoming. Kind of brings a tear to the eye, doesn't it? What went wrong?
Something you didn't count on.
Oh? Really? And what was that?
The Phantom.
I thought that was just a superstition.
Oh, no. He's real, and he won't die. I know, I killed him once, and he isn't dead.
That doesn't make sense.
Look, I brought this to prove it.
I love how he qualifies he won't die with I killed him and he isn't dead. Like, I think we put it together with the part where you said he doesn't die.
Yeah, one of those two things was not necessary to say.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It's again, I mean, I know I made this obvious, but he's saying it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Again, in the dialogue. I feel almost like Jamie Kennedy's Mask character about Treat Williams or whatever his name is, the guy playing Drax.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's really irritating to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if he's a good actor, I would not know that. But we'll get into that. Let's do one more clip for the worst dialogue. This is clip number 1. Drum roll. One up.
All right. What's your name? Why do you want that skull so badly?
Kid Walker.
Ah. And who is Kid Walker?
I am.
And what about the skull?
That'll go well with my drapes.
Ah, cute. You're very cute, Mr. Walker. Fortunately, I have a cure for that.
Stop it! Don't hurt him!
Why, Diana, are you sweet on Mr. Walker? I thought your true love was swinging on a jungle vine somewhere.
How did you... I mean, who told you that?
I did.
Sal's got all the latest gossip on 2 continents.
Deny it. He's in love with you, and you're nuts about him. From the moment he came flying down that laundry chute, you were hooked.
Kismet in the jungle.
You're despicable. You're just jealous.
Now I'm one up.
Ladies, Quill, would you please show Mr. Walker up to the observation deck and make him talk?
I claim the body when you're done.
There it is. I kept it in.
I claim
There
the
it
body
is.
when you're done.
I had to. I had to keep it in. All of that was just horrendous bullshit.
Yeah.
I thought the skull would match the drapes thing. Like, oh, you're cute. I have a cure for that. Punch.
Yeah.
You're sweet on him. I thought you were sweet on the Jungle Man. Who told you that? I did. It's like horrible play. It's a terrible play. I hated that entire thing. Thought it deserved number one. I have nothing else to say unless you guys want to add anything. We'll throw to your ad read, Rob.
I got nothing, Bob.
No, ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Bro Brain's new pre-workout penile suppository, Shaft Maximus. Their secret formula is easily inserted into your dick hole 30 minutes before hitting the gym, and they guarantee immediate results or your money back. If you want your gains to look sick, then shove Bro Brains up your dick. Get your order in now before the FDA investigation concludes.
Ouch.
Oh, God, I'm never letting my kids listen to this. This show, I mean,
It builds character.
This show dies with me. Test number 5. The worst production. Take it away, Bob.
Go.
Yeah.
No need to agonize on scripts or budgets, 'cause now it's time for the worst production.
So many guesses could be given about what the worst production of this movie is.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But I'm gonna go with the tagline rewritten.
rewritten.
Okay, so do you guys know the name Joe Dante?
No.
That it's familiar.
So he's a producer, director, writer. He made Gremlins and Inner
Okay.
Space.
Yeah. Okay, that would be why.
And he made a bunch of like schlocky comedy horror type, like comedy parody type movies. He was originally the writer and director on this movie, or at least producer.
Okay.
And he made it to be more of a parody, more of a comedy action type movie. And it sounds like it was looking very good. Unfortunately, test audiences didn't take kindly to the comedy. So
Come on.
So Joe Dante kind of was taken out of the picture, and they went back to production, rewrote it, and reshot the parts with the humorous parts removed, but everything else was kept in.
Wow.
And so the scenes that were between the funny parts were taken seriously, which really made it feel disjointed and flat.
Yeah.
Because all the linking funny parts were taken out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell when you watch it. There's definitely some shit missing.
I'll take your word for it. 'Cause
feel
I'm
that
not gonna watch it again, so I'll take your word for it. But like, that makes a lot of sense because it doesn't make sense because they left in like comic relief that wasn't funny.
Right. Which
That's true. They did.
It may have been good supplementary material, but think of the main villain. What's his name? Drax. Or Dax.
Drax. Yeah.
Like he was a comically, like big overbite and just silly kind of guy, shot very close to the face. Like it was definitely not meant to be taken seriously.
No.
But at the same time,
it was.
There wasn't enough comedy to not take it seriously.
Yeah.
Or to at least think it wasn't being campy. It was just a mess.
It was. To me, it felt like they were going for like just post LA Noir time period piece where they kept in the like cheesy appeal of those detective style like noir movies, but only the parts that don't age well about that period. It was like the vibe that they were going for, but maybe it was that they were going for a comedy based in that time period, like just after the detective shows were popular, and they were trying to do a riff on that, but without the comedy, you just don't understand what they're going for.
It could have been like was it Ryan Gosling in that Gangsterland movie? It was like just a shitload of Tommy guns, but it was like 1920s like noir.
Yeah, I
like,
haven't seen it. I think
fedora
right.
wearing, like kind of funny. Like it could have been like that. I feel.
Well, what's the Ryan Reynolds one? Is that
maybe it's Ryan Reynolds?
Which Ryan Reynolds play? He played the red character superhero.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah,
I feel like it was going for something like that.
Okay.
And the green one, the Green Lantern as well.
Yeah.
Well, here I don't know if you guys. I think you'll recognize this name. Billy Zane won the role barely over Bruce Campbell, who would have made a terrific comedic superhero.
That would have been fantastic.
Much better.
Yeah,
much better. Billy Zane, I almost feel bad for him. Maybe your agent pushes you into this when the script is funnier.
Have you seen Billy Zane in Dead Calm?
No, that's an Australian film though. That's where he's from, right?
It's effing fantastic. It's so good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
And that he got hired for that role because they liked him in that. And he's really good in it. Nicole Kidman's the opposite. Role.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe I'll check that out per your recommendation.
It's good. It's a good thriller.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Test number 6: the worst acting.
Yeah.
Number 1, myself.
I'm guilty on all counts, Dad. I let that skull slip right through my fingers.
Don't be too hard on yourself. We all make mistakes.
This one gets worse.
How so?
It was the same Brotherhood. I saw the spiderweb tattoo.
You turned over one of the skulls of Tuganda to the same Brotherhood. They've tried and failed to get their hands on those skulls for the last 400 years.
They don't have all 3.
We don't know how many there have. Have you any idea what it means if the Brotherhood gets control of the skulls?
They'd be invincible.
And stop them. You're the only one who can.
Excuse me, Ghost Rocks.
Yes, Karan.
I thought I heard... Were you talking to somebody?
That was myself. I was talking to myself.
Super weird. I don't know. Is Billy Zane dad there? I have no idea. But the old guy that's supposed to be his dad that he still sees the phantom of.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I guess that's your superpower is you can still give future phantoms advice.
Yeah.
Is that the phantom superpower? I don't know. Anyway, I thought that guy was really bad. He was trying to do like an Obi-Wan Kenobi to Luke. You know, the elder advisor who can come back from the dead and have that conversation. But when he goes over the top, he does the thing that we were talking about, I think, just last week when we were talking about Patroclus, where he ramped it up too high and still had lines to go, and then he loses his voice. Mm-hmm. When he says skulls, Rob, you did it during the clip, but he was like, they have the skulls. It's like there's nothing in there left. Yeah, it's really, really bad. That's when I feel like you as a director need to be like, okay, start at a lower temperature and raise it. Like you want the climax to be on skulls, not like you coming back down. I don't know. Not that I know how to direct, but I'm very excited about this next clip number 2. This one's called Opals.
Not so fast, buddy boy. What is this? This isn't real money.
Yeah, you're right. That's a big dollar currency.
Coin of the realm would be appreciated.
I'm afraid it's all I've got.
It better not be.
All right, here. Where was... These are opals. And that's a star sapphire. Here, take all of them. Don't worry, they're real. And I'm sure they'll secure your services for the rest of the day, so wait here, okay?
You're kidding, right?
I never kid.
Okay, Okay, Billy Zane is bad there.
Yeah.
He did not try hard enough. But we have a little enhancer. We don't do this much, but we're going to add a little 9-second clip in the context of this scene. About 4 minutes later or so, there's this extra 9-second clip. Go ahead, Rob.
And I think it's a Paul Simon reference, so here we go.
Yes, sir. At your service.
So you're in a good mood.
You bet I am. While you're inside, I have those stones appraised. And you can call me Al.
He went somewhere and had all those stones appraised in the middle of the day and made it back within the 20 minutes. The guy was inside.
Okay, when I moved down to Nashville, I sold off like some music equipment that I just didn't want, like the drum, some cymbals and stuff that wouldn't need.
Yeah,
and it takes like 3 hours to get that shit appraised at Guitar Center. He just found an Opal guy on the street corner and just fucking
the guy that's like. The guy that's like
ID,
2 necklaces for 10, 3 necklaces for 12. Like that guy was appraising your opals. Because I think that's the only dude you're gonna find.
You need like 2 forms of ID and shit to like sell. Yeah, like that's fucking stupid.
Not back then, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess that was.
Yeah, maybe not.
I guess.
But the cabbie needs to be okay with being paid in what are like, zoo gift shop rocks. They look like. So to justify that, when he comes back out, he says, "I had them appraised."
I mean, this fits in catch-all with a lot of time and inconsistencies. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, oh yeah, there are many. I agree. I don't know how many I have written down exclusively under that title, so to speak. But yeah, we will see. But yeah, that whole scene just shit. Just shit. I thought the cabbie is bad, but Billy Zane is not. He barely got the lines out. It felt like I felt like he was half asleep.
And call me Al is just a weird fucking reference, dude.
Yeah,
because that's only come out like the 60s. Yeah, I can call you Betty. Betty, you can call me Al. That song.
That was an '80s release, right?
Yeah. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. That song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Stupid.
Sure. Let's go ahead. Clip number 3. This is among the worst we've ever done on the show.
Okay.
This is called Amazing.
Amazing.
This is it. It's happening right here and now. Unbelievable. It's beautiful. It's magnificent. Show me the power. Show me the power. Yes. Amazing. Amazing.
All right, we didn't do South Park Bingo yet, but you know what this reminds me of?
What?
The guy in the white suit, like Stephen King's The Stand, who was like the heart of Walmart. And he's like, I take on many shapes and forms. And he puts on a cowboy hat. This is one of them. And then he takes the hat off and puts like a glasses. He's like, this is another one. And then they finally like break the mirror in the back. And he goes, now you will see who I really am. And he peels his mustache off. And he's like, ha, 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 ha. You cannot
I do remember that. Yeah, I just Treat Williams is so bad here.
Yeah.
So he's like, unbelievable, magnificent, amazing, show me the power, amazing. And then he's like, I like this. What the fuck was all that about, man? Oh,
yeah.
My God, I could not believe that.
Yeah.
All right, fact or no fact?
Okay. Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful. All right.
Obviously, this is called the Phantom Menace.
Fair.
I had a feeling. I really.
Which really just goes right back to our previous episode that we dealt with.
On the worstmovieevermade.com.
Yes. Throwback Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, so Please, one of you find the fact out of these 5 things I'm about to
get it. I'm gonna get it.
Okay. Going from the beginning, you mentioned Michael Keaton, so I'll start with this one.
Ooh.
The original Phantom costume had prosthetic muscles, much like Batman, but Zane beefed up enough that they didn't need it, and they went with just spandex. Okay, a monkey was originally in the opening scenes accompanying the small boy, but had to be put down for biting actors and crew and was cut from the scenes.
Wow.
Okay.
A makeout scene between Kit and Diana was cut after test audiences reacted poorly.
Okay.
All right. The young boy is speaking a nonsense language, but the producers and the directors hoped nobody would notice or care and left it in.
Okay.
That's believable.
And the last, the exteriors of the mansion from the earlier scenes in the film was George Lucas's California mansion.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Figure it out.
I believe Zane beefing up because he's pretty good shape. They had the obligatory shirtless scene, so I don't know what he looked like before this, so it's possible that he did beef up. So that's on my short list. Monkey was originally in opening scenes, but had to be put down for biting actors. If they already shot scenes though, they could have kept it in. It doesn't matter if it was fucking, injected with murder after its scenes were shot. So I'm gonna
injected with murder.
I'm gonna take that one away because I think if they could have still used the footage. They used Brandon Lee was in The Crow after he died. So,
he bit the guy that shot him.
That's right.
Make out scene between Kit and Diana was cut at the poor test reaction. Nah, because audiences love that shit. So
yeah,
I don't believe that. Young boy speaking nonsense language. So it's like, was he like a backup singer for Sigur Rós or something? But producers hope nobody would care. That's believable.
It is.
But I'm gonna go with the George Lucas one because here's my logic. You make most of your money off the merch rights for things. Like most of the Star Wars, the original ones were still kind of recent, like last 20 years. Where like he could have been in the red a little bit, and he was gearing up to do the prequels. Mm-hmm. So passive income by renting out your mansion, right? Especially if you're not using it.
Sure. Yeah.
So you said, Chris or Bob, in the Phantom Menace episode that George Lucas funded a lot of things himself.
That's true.
Because he didn't want to be at the mercy of the studios. So it's very believable that George Lucas was subletting properties to raise funds for the abysmal prequels that we know of. So I'm going to go with the exterior of mansion of earlier scenes was George Lucas's California mansion. Final answer.
Yeah, he is a good money man. I mean, he sold it to Disney for what, like $4 billion or something?
Yeah.
And
all it cost was his soul.
I also like boy nonsense language. I think that makes sense. But monkey scenes cut out because they put the monkey down. I don't think the monkey parents are gonna feel any sort of way about that. So I think they'd probably keep the monkey in. To your credit, Rob. Makeout session. Yeah, right. They make a monkey session. I almost said with Kit and Diana. The makeout session with Kit and Diana. I feel like I saw them kiss. So I don't know. I believe the costume prosthetic muscle thing because it doesn't have prosthetic muscles, and I feel like it almost looks too slender. I think he feels a little, although he's ripped. Okay, he definitely got in great shape for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with number one, that they decided not to put in the prosthetic muscles because I do feel like even with the suit on, for me, he doesn't look muscly enough to be a superhero.
All right. Yeah. The exteriors of the mansion was the Playboy Mansion. There you go. Sorry, Rob.
Fuck.
The boy was speaking Indian. Or one of the languages from India. So there we go.
So what you're saying is no one in the audience noticed or cared anyways.
No, exactly. Yeah, the boy was from India, but I don't know which Indian language he was speaking. It doesn't.
Okay.
There were romantic scenes that were cut, but not because of test audiences. It was cut for time. But it wasn't.
Right.
There were no makeout scenes. I made that part up. So I made up 2 parts of that one. So Chris, you are the winner this week.
Yeah.
Because they did make an entire costume of prosthetics, and he bulked up so much they didn't need it.
Oh, hell yeah.
He still
Rob,
looks like
you could have
thumb,
gone for
though.
that one, too.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob, you should have gone with that.
Yeah. You know,
Sucks.
win some, lose some.
I never jot this down, but I'm gonna put that Chris wins.
Yeah.
Rob won the pitch, so
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So just write down Bob doesn't win anything.
You win the pitch all the time.
You know what? That is a catch-all for this episode, and that's our next segment. So that's a great segue.
True. Yeah. Hit it.
Cool. Let's fucking do it.
If you've caught one, you've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
Yeah, Bob, right. You know how you win all the time is by taking out one competitor from competition. Yeah. You know, if I don't include you in any of the games, you can't win.
Yeah. He does lord a mysterious power over us. Now that I think about it,
he does.
Oh,
Congrats, I
Chris.
consider.
I'm so happy for you.
I consider you the winner every time we don't get fact or no fact, which is every fucking week.
Yeah, almost every week. Yeah, so good point, Chris.
All right, the catch-all. Extremely fast intro, and it reminded me of George of the Jungle.
Yeah,
I think it maybe was supposed to have some of the comedy vibes that Bob was alluding to.
Yeah,
because it did feel humorous in a sense, but it wasn't. It wasn't delivered to us like comedy.
Yeah.
But it did feel like George of the Jungle to me.
Yeah.
Why is there a warning sign on the bridge that is in English only if they're not in America? English also makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I would warn the locals too. You know, the ones that don't speak English, because we're in South America.
Maybe because they only get poachers, and they want the poachers to know that we're giving it too much credit.
They're in Thailand, although
they're in Thailand.
Yes, and the original story happened in Africa. I'm not sure what part of Africa. I think it was a fictional part of Africa. But yeah, it was in Thailand. Either way, you're right.
Yeah, it should have non-English language for the people who live there. The face skull blister burn thing is just nasty looking.
Mm-hmm.
It still looks wet, and it doesn't look old. It just looks like gross to me.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
What is I don't know what that's even supposed to be. Mystical power skull trope. I mean, how many skulls have mystical powers? You know, including Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
How did the truck get so wrapped in the bridge vine that when it flips upside down, it hangs onto the bridge? I didn't understand that.
Obviously,
yeah.
I knew that would get a catch-all moment as soon as I saw it.
It was so dumb. But that leads into a cliffhanger dangle trope.
Cliffhanger dangle.
Yeah. And then the rope swing trope, and then the exploding truck in a ravine trope, one after another.
Did this movie? I don't want to get too ahead, but did they have any tropes where they're running from the explosion and they jump just right in time? I don't think they did.
I want to say off the boat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, they narrowly escaped exploding inside the plane, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
How does the Phantom not know all about the skulls if his family has been protecting them for the last 400 years?
To that point, he has all the books explaining their elaborate and very specific history, in his house all the time. And he's like, "Ooh!" He finally gets to the right chapter. Ooh,
skulls. I know I saw something about skulls later in this chapter, but the expat Phantom study abroad program is funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zane got ripped. Too bad the suit looks so incredibly stupid, I wrote. We kind of already touched on that, so I'll just keep going.
It looks like a thumb. It's just it looks like a thumbnail because it's just his face sticking out of the fucking thing.
He looks like an unsheathed dog dick to me.
Purple Rocket. Yeah.
The Zephyro crime family sounds really stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave through the window. I want to avoid suspicion, says the camp captain. Even though I just made the "don't you ever use the front door" joke.
It was better in The Crow.
I thought of The Crow as well. I was going to.
I think I'll use the front door.
Yeah.
Because I'm a human.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom now has his very own short round. I'm not making a racist statement. That is his name in the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
He's a
Also, Temple of Doom has the 3 stones.
Yeah, so they really stole some material. Huh? That's how I feel about this movie in general. Is just a collection of stolen material.
But to be fair, the comic came way before Temple of Doom, and the comic used that story.
Yeah.
So
all right, fair enough.
I read that much, and I hate giving it much credit, but at the same time, I will give credit to the comic writers, not to the film.
A lot of early writing, it's the same with like jazz and blues. Like you find like a lick or a progression you like, and like everybody does their own version of it, and it's like it's not necessarily ripping off; it's more like parallel thought. So to Bob's point,
exactly. And imitation is the sincerest form of flattery as well. So the Temple of Doom doing that, I guess, is a compliment to the Phantom comics.
Yeah, and we're not giving credit to the filmmakers. We're giving credit to the
no. Yeah,
authors.
right. I thought about saying bingo card moment, but we're really not giving that movie credit for that.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Contrived boot interest.
Yeah.
That chick's not interested in your fucking boots.
Oh, right.
You know,
women, am I right?
She's got the note in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what are these?
Yeah.
Oh, Saks Fifth Avenue. I knew it. You know, like you're gonna pull the girl's boots off and smell them. Like, what are you doing? Fucking weird. Your dog is a wolf. As we say that Jones says to Billy Zane, and he goes, "I know." Like, what if, like, for any audience member who hadn't picked up on that? I guess. Following a plane in a truck and on horseback. How do you do that?
Yeah. You don't.
No.
Ever.
Wolf and horse conversation. You don't see those often.
Well, that was good.
Yep.
Also, wolf keeps up with horse at a full gallop.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No.
Bullets spray gas. Bullets makes the gas spray out, and there's no fuel in the plane trope. How about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The 2-person plane to horse hop, Chuck Norris style, Walker Texas Ranger dismounting of a plane was really funny.
That was.
That's gotta hurt your fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume. Like jumping down on the horse, you mean? Like landing on the horse? Like
Jumping like 20 feet from a plane onto a horse on full gallop, like with your crotch.
Yeah, there's got to be some horse backbones that are going straight into the screw.
If it was in real life, he'd just immediately throw up and keel over the impact to his balls.
The movie Hot Shots dealt with that with Valerie Galina. She was standing on the horse, and then when she went down with spread leg, there was like a suction noise when she hit the horse.
That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in ages, but yeah, my good friend Jay and I used to watch that when we were younger. Too young, probably.
Yeah.
Good thing there were jungle roads leading straight to the site where the plane crashed, so that we can continue the chase scene that ends immediately after.
Yeah.
Why couldn't the plane escape just be the escape?
Yeah.
And you have to explain how they tracked the plane and drove through the jungle at high enough speeds to catch up to the planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason. He has a bat cave, but it's a skull cave.
Yep.
The Jimmy guy in New York, stalker material.
Yeah.
Bad vibes from Jimmy.
Oh, that guy was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time she walks in the door, he's there to badger her, and in an annoying way. Like the guy that's like thinks that he's going to get the girl by negging her constantly.
Like way overacted.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. Maybe I should have clipped him. Another Toys R Us. I mentioned the zoo gift shop stones that Billy
Mhm.
Zane gives to the cabbie. How about the Toys R Us tattoo that is the Sang Brotherhood cobweb?
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I almost wanted to put that in the trailer. That's how funny it was.
I feel like we saw another movie that was like that. They had like a snake or something on their arm. This was like
Yeah.
months ago, but it looked like hand drawn with pen, and they were all not exactly the same. You know?
Yeah.
This one, I really feel like they just got like the wet paper towel tattoo. You know, you just do the
Yeah.
warm wet paper towel and then peel it off, and you got the that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It probably was actually.
Probably was. It's henna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
henna
like that.
tattoos. Remember that hardcore band, Amur? They have a song called "You Had a Henna Tattoo That Said Forever."
I do. I always pronounced it Imure. Imure.
You're probably right.
I think you're right. That yours sounds better, bro. Everybody knows you know band
Cool.
names, bro. You know all the band names, dude.
Sick references.
Yeah. Bro down. It's Imure. Kit Walker knows a lot about skulls that are in the jungle that I just visited. And he looks just like the guy that rescued me.
Yeah.
But I'm not at all suspicious. This is
there a name-
Superman phone booth stuff like on steroids.
It's like you'll never believe it. What? I'm Superman. Like, is there a name for that
Exactly.
trope? Is there a name for that trope?
The Superman trope.
The super. Yeah, I guess. Like,
Let's just
there we
make it
go.
the Superman trope.
The
Yeah,
Clark
we've got
Kent trope.
stormtroopers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clark Kent trope. That's good.
Okay.
The mob boss meeting is so pathetic. It's like a mockery of good mafia characters in other movies.
Yeah.
It's almost like what Austin Powers was parodying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the conference table with the weak applause. When
Yeah.
the plan was laid out.
Yeah, no, I agree. It maybe that's one of those scenes where they had better comedy chops for you, but then just
Mhm.
took them off the table.
Yeah, it's almost like Austin Powers did it better, which I hate to say.
Yeah. Well, the first
Yeah.
Austin Powers is in my opinion not bad, but
It's funny.
the next like few that follow it are bad.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the fact that we're beating this guy up in the museum lobby. There's free cake and sandwiches in the hallway, people.
That was hilarious.
It was so
Yeah.
weird.
You know what?
Why
though?
did does Drax always set up free sandwiches and cake when he's going to do something in public
Yeah.
because he knows he can MIB like flash their memory if he gives them free food?
You know what?
In the hallway, nobody will call the cops if their mouth is stuffed with vanilla
If
cake.
I were in a public spot and like Bedlam was unfolding in front of me, but there was like good catering, I might dip out and just grab a plate.
I guess if everyone's attention is on that, I might, if I hopefully have like a backpack on me,
Yeah,
start throwing.
You can go to the prime rib guy and get like 2 slices instead of 1. You know.
yeah, exactly.
I do find it hilarious how specific it was: sandwiches and cake.
It's a weird combo.
It's like next door there will be apple juice and prune juice.
And scones.
Good thing there was a world map in the room when Drax put the 2 skulls together. Also, the hole they burned in the map provides a search area the size of Kansas. So good luck.
Valid point.
Yeah, very valid point.
Good thing this cab driver feels so indebted to Kit Walker, because he becomes the ex machina, so to speak. Sonya Blade leg lock. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, on 2 guys from the Phantom.
Yeah.
He won up Sonya and John Voight and Anaconda with that leg lock. He got 2 guys with 1. That was impressive. There's his superhero power, Bob.
Yeah,
he can strangle multiple men with his legs at the same time. Quill leaves Phantom in the upstairs operations room, whatever it is, and he comes back down and he's like, "I got him. He's trapped upstairs, right? He'll be dead in 15 days or so."
You know, to the point with the leg lock though, I was like dying because I was like nodding off when I was watching. So I had to rewind,
Yeah.
we had to rewind the same scene like 4 times because you're just like kind of at that point. And it's funny if I might do this just for a fun clip, just him leg locking, just cutting a fart in the guy's face and he drops.
That is really good.
It's just a little.
Oh man, you should totally do that. Yeah, well, what kind of we Son of the Mask, we got really into what kind of fart we thought was appropriate for the mask to be throwing into Loki's face.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? You think a nice quick balloon escape, like a little air escape from
the
balloon,
one
kinda?
cheek squeak sneak, yeah.
I think you should use the one from Son of the Mask. I think that'd be even funnier.
Ooh. I'll have to workshop this after I get the show up.
A displeased horse kind of fart.
Yeah.
You know?
Displeased.
Yeah.
Hot to trot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. The Devil's Vortex, where ships go missing.
Yeah.
Don't you mean the Bermuda Triangle? Because that's the only place on Earth I know where that's said to have happened. I don't know anything about it. Email us. Where, Rob?
theworstmovieevermade.com.
Hell yeah.
It's all
hotel security is to shoot the madman on site. No description, by the way. Hotel security, shoot on site some guy. Then a man draped head to toe in purple hero costume leaps out of the elevator shaft, and they do nothing.
Yeah.
They don't even stop him.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna tell your hotel security to shoot a guy, and he doesn't describe him.
Yeah.
You're never gonna tell the security. You're gonna say, apprehend this man, or hold him down with what we call the police or whatever. Hotel security does not shoot the patrons of the hotel on word of the guy who owns the hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he comes lumbering out of the elevator shaft, head to toe in a purple skin suit. It's and they don't do anything.
The Marat Phantom.
It's the Marat Phantom. Here we go with the BTK references again. Just shows you where our brain's at. Yeah. Stunt police bike bullshit. And why are the cops shooting at him? They haven't had a report or anything.
Yeah, and this is what 30s or 20s. So word does not travel fast during these times. Where they fucking someone doing Morse code to the police station.
Right? No, there's no way. I felt like it was 30s, 40s, but yeah. There's no way they would know. The Phantom, friend of tigers, Central Park Zoo tigers.
Yeah, it was funny.
Why would that tiger that's been separated from its, never even got to know another tiger? Probably.
Yeah.
How did it get word that this creep in its cell has an alliance with all tigers? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, regionally it doesn't work. I mean, he's from Thailand, or Africa. Neither have tigers.
Yeah.
So explain that to me. I don't know. The Cabbie knows where to find Drax. This is what I'm talking about. But also, Quill killed Phantom's dad, and a million other convenient conveniences and inconvenient conveniences.
Yeah. Yep.
And how old was Quill when he killed the guy's dad? I mean, he must have been like a kid.
18. Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because now that you mentioned it, the lineage doesn't line up. Because if Quill's the same age as the Phantom, his dad died when he was a kid, and was he like a 10-year-old who stabbed it?
Or was his dad super old as the Phantom, and that's why he was so susceptible to kill?
He was so slow. You were able to sneak up on the Phantom.
Yeah.
It was really easy. I killed him. It was really, really easy. But now he's back.
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not dead, and he looks way younger. Yeah.
And beefy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really beefed up too.
Beefcake. Yep.
Cabbie, free beefcake and sandwiches. Cabbie says, "I love New York" trope. I just rolled my eyes with that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the other really funny one. There's the plane dismount, and then there's the Phantom holds on to Drax's plane overnight. He's holding on to the plane for the entire night.
There's one spot that didn't even need to be there. He nods off and slides off and has to swing his legs back up. but it wasn't like a crucial plot thing or like a fight. Like, it did not need to exist. Like him like struggling for a second.
Yeah, it was just so they can get a stunt
And
man.
climb back up.
His
Yeah.
paycheck, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, him holding on to the plane and then it's morning. Oh my god,
That was funny.
Another part where I was laughing. The skulls showed them the exact coordinates of the cave on the island in the ocean. They did not. They did no searching whatsoever. They just went straight to the cave.
Yeah,
kind of already said that, but Shang Tsung.
I thought
Speaking of Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
How are the pirates still alive 400 years later?
Future.
How does Sang Sun know where New York is or what it is?
I don't know.
This reminded me of what movie was it where the guys were like curled up in little balls and like dropped down to protect the.
Yeah. Crystal
what
Skull.
movie was that? Yeah,
Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that exactly.
This parallel Quill was like really, really offensive Indiana Jones. Basically, he kind of had the same garb.
Yeah,
he was.
And had the sidekick, but he was abusive to him.
Yeah.
Terrible choreography.
Yeah.
Just want to say the fight scenes were really bad.
It was like Adam West.
Ice Pirate.
Yeah. It was like Adam West Batman fighting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Adam West, by the way, was originally supposed to star in the Phantom back in the 70s.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
And they never got it off the ground.
Yeah.
Look at all this lacing we're doing.
It's a weird tapestry we're weaving right now.
We are. Tapestry reminds me of Indiana Jones when he poses as a German inspector to come into the Nazi castle. You guys remember that?
We have many tapestries.
Yeah. And I assure you, we have many tapestries.
Yeah.
Terrible skull CGI when they're like floating around.
Oh yeah.
Just don't do it. You know. The wolf's name, by the way, is Devil. We have Devil's Vortex. We have the Devil. Yeah, whatever. I'm not permitted. I love this one. I think this might be my last one. It is. Okay. I'm not permitted to reveal all my secrets to one person, the Phantom says to what's her face? Christy Swanson's character. I can't remember her name for the life of me.
Who cares?
I'm not permitted to reveal all my secrets. Diana.
Yeah.
Diana, I'm not permitted to reveal all my secrets to one person. Actually, I am. But only to the person, only to one person. But it has to be the woman that I intend to marry. Okay, bye. She's like, please.
Yeah.
So like clunky and awkward.
Yeah.
That whole scene was just laughable as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You guys want to mention anything?
No.
Only because you didn't mention the specifics when the Phantom was first chasing the car in the jungle. He did some kind of leap off his horse into a tree, and then suddenly he was on top of the car. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, because
it was worse than the monkey scene in Crystal Skull. It was worse than the monkeys.
No, I agree. I mean, the vine like that he got up on was clearly like rebar, but wrapped in vine.
Yeah.
And then he uses like some superhuman ability to leap, you know, how many paces ahead to land on the car, which he doesn't exhibit any other superhero powers ever again.
Yeah.
No.
So that's a good call. All right, anything else? You want to go to bad credit names?
Credit names.
Alternate ending first, or is that?
Oh yeah, it's written right here. Rob's alternate ending. Rob's alternate ending. Oh yeah.
So the one line. So I've been not writing them, and it's kind of like doing them on the fly because stuff comes up that's funnier than what I could come up with. But when the guy's like, "Oh, he'll die in like 15 days," and it just cuts to him just starving to death in that room. They forgot. Have you guys watched Breaking Bad?
A few seasons. I couldn't finish it. I just got bored.
There's a character named Huel. It's that really big, fat black dude. He's alongside Bill Burr. And when they finally expose Heisenberg, Hank and Gomez, they put him in a safe house. Like, wait here, we'll come back and let you know when it's safe because he's like an informant. And then they leave and they both die. They both die in the desert. And like, there's this whole alternate fan fiction of this like Keel's just sitting there and no one ever came back for him.
Yeah, that
it
is.
just reminded me of that. That's all I got.
All right, cool. Well, let's throw it to bad credit names then.
Cool.
Bad credit names like.
I'm Harvey Manfred.
Yeah.
I'm already working on how to deliver the last name on the list.
All right.
But I'll start with Drax is played by Treat Williams. Is that his first name?
Mm-hmm.
Treat?
Treat?
That is rough.
Treat. Have you ever heard of the spam knockoff called Treat?
Ew,
It's spelled,
no.
it's spelled Treet.
That's disgusting. Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Anything that gets the title spam knockoff, like that's its own category, dude.
No, yeah, spam is a category.
I'll try. I'll send you guys or something, and we'll post it.
Okay.
Dewey Jean Grigg.
Dewey Jean.
Wow.
Dewey Jean Grigg. Zandy Janko.
Okay.
Zandy Janko.
Wow.
Corky Fernoff.
Sorry.
Patrick
McGoohan.
McGoohan. These are all like really. They're all like saturated in cum. Like Dewey jeans, like yeah, okay.
Yeah, man. I had the same thought.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, here's the winner. Dick Vane.
That is the winner.
Vane. Dick Vane.
That's just fucking unfortunate.
Go by Richard.
Yeah.
Go by Ricky. Go by Rick.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's time to compare the movies.
Yes.
Time to compare the movies. Time to compare the movies.
Troy and the Phantom. Troy, worst of its kind, negative 17.6, and worst, you might remember, negative 29.6, and worst. So a sizable lead for the Phantom. We'll see how that holds up next week.
Yeah.
If the Phantom is to advance.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, it turns out last week you did win with a 4.25, but this week weird, 4.5 to get you over the hump in favor of the Phantom. How about that?
Weird.
All right.
Yeah.
Peculiar.
Yeah. Mildly offensive was Troy. What do you guys? We'll see. We'll see. Dialogue, meh for Troy. Was this dialogue worse?
Oh, I do think so.
Yeah, but Troy did have.
I am a gas breaker of stones.
It might be a wash. I don't know.
Yeah, fair. After that, let's hold that for now. Production. Okay, so I have extended scenes for very simple conflicts versus rewritten. I'm actually giving this to Troy.
I was gonna go the opposite.
It's
go for it.
I could tie break. I'm gonna go Phantom because they fundamentally changed the movie. Whereas Troy was meant to be an epic, so like they were trying to extend the runtime. So I could see I could get behind the intent for why they did that in Troy because it's an hour and a half story. They tried stretching to 3 hours, but to Bob's point, they rewrote the entire movie and it made it completely disjointed and not make sense. At least Troy's consistent with itself.
That is true, but I think both are movie killers. I think Troy might have been a decent movie. I don't know that the Phantom would have been.
I could have seen. I would have enjoyed the Phantom. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
When you mess with the comedy delivery, it screws the whole movie up.
And it's a comic book movie compared to a Greek epic. I mean, it's hard to compare them in terms of like intention.
Yeah, I suppose. Orlando Bloom sucks. That's acting. Was it worse here?
Oh man, I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say. I think Orlando Bloom was bad enough that I'm going to give it to Troy personally. I don't know who was that. Treat Williams might have been that bad, but he wasn't as important.
But he was also being campy. I think Orlando Bloom just really sucked.
Yeah, so I'll give it to Troy.
I'll give it to Troy.
To that point,
Okay.
Bob. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do demerits. We have length and Orlando Boo for Troy.
Okay.
You got anything for the Phantom? I mean, we kind of said it all already, but
a pretty sizable catch-all. I'm gonna say a pretty sizable catch-all.
It was a sizable catch-all, and I apologize.
Yeah.
No, not to your fault. It's the fucking movie.
There was a lot of things to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. All right, let's find out what's more offensive in our offensive minigame.
Ooh, wait 1 second. I have something for this.
The offensive minigame.
Yeah.
Deep-throating Patrickless. Or tugging tricks into torpedoes. Take your pick.
Tugging tricks into torpedoes? I missed that one.
Yeah, shoving his two girls into the missile.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to find another way to word it.
Yeah.
Okay, so fuck Patrickless, I agree. He was terrible.
Yeah.
Alleviating Apollo of a good ass piece. Or post-mortem phantom fucking. Keep in mind that Troy lost the last one. So
I know. I want to go to the bonus round so bad. I think we're gonna go to the bonus round anyway.
We're going either way.
Yeah.
But I do lean towards post-mortem phantom fucking.
I do too.
Okay.
I do
All
too.
Right. Okay, so I'll start with Troy then, because it's less funny in the bonus round. Hiding hordes in horses to destroy Troy. Or Quill's controversial cock comments.
That one.
So Phantom 3 to
Phantom wins. A clean
Phantom
sweep.
all the way.
Yeah, so really the only thing, I mean, we're going with what did we say? I guess it was dialogue we were feeling like might be a wash. Or are we just going Phantom there too?
Phantom's already winning, right? It's pretty much a
it's 4-1 if we wash it. It's 5-1.
I do think Phantom dialogue was worse.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's just go with that.
Writing in general, they fucked with the writing, and that made the dialogue worse.
Yeah,
yeah,
I completely agree. So the worst of the season by a 5-1 victory over Troy, not surprisingly, but we had to do Troy. It's one of those ones that's not like the worst movie ever made, which is the reason we're here. But we got to do all the bad movies. You never know once you throw it through the scientific equipment testing results machines. We have what's going to be actually the worst. You got to test for everything, right?
Yeah.
So 5-1 victory for the Phantom next week. Get this, Bob.
Oh my God!
You are joining us on our Battlefield Earth Redux, our redo, our once again. We did it before. There's one time where I'm going to tell you don't go listen to that episode because you got a new one coming out in the new format. It's going to be better. Although I bet you it's really funny to listen to the old one too.
It's probably crap lousy compared to this one.
Yes, definitely. I cannot wait for Bob to see this. This is one where I wish we could live stream for real. Like this is.
Have you never seen it, Bob?
Never. I've only read about it.
God, okay. I really wish we could live stream.
Let's put it this way though. When it comes to bad, like we've muscled through some really bad movies that like we were just gritting our teeth the whole time watching it. This is highly entertaining.
It's not that.
So
it's not that. Like, you were going.
You'll enjoy. You will enjoy the ride. I promise you that.
It is insane.
I feel like this was a conspiracy from the beginning, but I'm along for the ride.
Two words, Bob. Dutch angle.
Dutch angle. For real. Keep that in mind.
Oh, I can't wait. All right, now I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the sitch. We have The Phantom as our worst movie of the season so far through 2. So no big accomplishment there. And it is about to be trounced by Battlefield Earth. I'm sorry, Phantom. You don't stand a chance. We got to throw it through our machines, as I said. But next week, Battlefield Earth. Bob will give you the last word, but Rob, why don't you tell the people where to find us?
theworstmovieevermade.com. That's where all of our socials, all of our streaming, and our email that seems to be collecting dust is.
For real.
I want the emails. It's so fun. They're so fun.
Shit. Yeah. We want to talk shit back.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. I'm tired of like putting on like my fake like mop handle like wig and like writing emails to ourselves so you guys don't know it's me.
Yeah.
From my R Scoochie email address, so you guys know it is me. But I like the wig. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an excuse.
Yeah.
Bob, you got anything you want to send these people out on?
Apparently, Dutch angle.
Dutch angle.
Okay.
That's
cool.
You will see. You will see.
And I want to give you guys a free bingo center square check off before the theme song.
Sentient.
See you guys next week.
Love you.
I had one of those coffee flavored monsters, and now I'm drinking blue raspberry Neo Sport, and I'm probably going to throw up. See ya. Let's turn off Craig. Stop.